Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as I give to you video number 2 on a wonderful Champions League night. The Champions League has commenced. Chelsea are not in it, we're playing dominoes somewhere, but anyway, we're going to come to all that in a sec. But what a Champions League night. Well, I say what a Champions League night. I mean, for an opening night, you could get worse. You could get worse. We had Man City losing on 83% possession to Red Star Belgrade at halftime 1-0. You know, having missed the same amount of chances as Chelsea have, might I add. The only difference is City actually get more and then eventually score. That's the only difference. You know, with Chelsea, we don't put our chances in the net, and then very few comes after, and we call it a night. So, Man City ending the job, getting it done 3-1. Newcastle getting a 0-0 over at the San Siro in what I have to say was a very dead game. I'll be honest. For the Newcastle fans, good result. Going to the San Siro, getting a draw, brilliant, you know. But for the neutral, painful. We got goalkeepers scoring for Lazio in the last minute against Atletico Madrid. Unbelievable. 95th minute equaliser. Flipping goalkeeper comes in, set piece header straight into the net. And we've got Joao Felix cooking. So this is what I wanted to focus on. Because Joao Felix is cooking. He's cooking, and he's cooking like we haven't seen him cook in a while. But now we've got to ask the question, and this is why I thought, you know what, this would be a good topic before we get into the news at the end of the video, where there is a significant piece of Chelsea news. But we have to ask the question, have Chelsea made a mistake by letting Joao Felix go? Now, we got to provide some context to this whole situation, because I feel like there's some people that are I don't want to say misinformed, but there's things we've all heard before which apparently are not true, and the circumstances that are actually true I'm about to let you guys know about. So we didn't keep Joao Felix, and there was a rumour going about that apparently it would have cost us a lot. We would have had to do a big deal, right? It would have cost us a lot on the salary. Even though his loan had come to an end, we would have had to start a new loan if we did want to keep him on. We had to negotiate something new. But if he had to stay, then we would have ended up, you know, paying him a lot. Currently at Barcelona, he earns 400,000 euros for the season. 400,000 euros Barcelona are paying him for the season. That comes to... Actually, no, you know what? I'm about to do this live here. I'm gonna check. We're gonna get the official numbers. We're gonna get the actual numbers here. Let me go into the currency exchange. we're gonna do this properly. So 400,000 is £344,000. £344,000. Let's round it up to 345 just to be generous. 345. Divide that by how many months in the season? About 9, 10. That's 10 months. 34 grand a month. 34k a month. No. He's on less than 10k a week. This is actually crazy. This is actually insane. 400,000 euros a season. So that's not the problem. That was not the problem. He went back to Atletico. Atletico didn't want him. He had no club. Trust me, he would have signed for Portsmouth if he had to. We would have easily got a deal done if we wanted to keep him, but we didn't want to keep him. Why? It was clear, and we heard exactly what was going on at the time. Everyone and their mother knows the story. Poch didn't want to keep him on, apparently, because he didn't admire his off-the-ball work rate. Whether you interpret that as pressing, whether you interpret that as running back and defending, whatever you interpret it as, his off-the-ball work rate was the reason why we didn't keep Joao Felix. Because that reason, according to, I'm guessing, Poch and the way that we're running now, doesn't go hand in hand with how we're trying to play our football. Okay? That's the official reasoning. Okay, so now we've got that to one side. Would you take Felix now? Trust me, I would take him for an arm and a leg. We've got Nkunku out injured. We need a creative player in that 10 role. Enter Joao Felix. And people are going to say, but he's just had a good night in the Champions League, that's all. I mean, did you see him in La Liga? He made his debut for Barcelona in the Champions League tonight, yes, and smashed it. La Liga has been playing magnificent. He is looking great. Now, I would happily sacrifice him having to decide to not run for someone in a press when I know we can get this sort of thing with him on the ball. Assists, even goals, creating chances, providing good passes, providing good crosses, linking up. In that space where we're lacking someone right now, just on the edge of the box, you put Joao Felix there, and I think we would have been alright, man. Not necessarily would have been alright. We would be better off than how we are now, for sure. With Nkunku out injured, we'd have Joao Felix. We wouldn't even have to talk about Cole Palmer. With all due respect to Cole Palmer, we wouldn't have had to even talk about him. But we let him go. So I want to ask you guys the question. Is it a mistake? Have Chelsea made a mistake by letting Joao Felix go? And this goes back to the whole point of, it's mad, in hindsight, whenever we let these sort of players go and then they go off and they blow up and they explode, there's some people that reckon that if he had stayed at Chelsea, well, he would struggle anyway. Perhaps he wouldn't be playing maybe as great as he is out at Barcelona, but I think individually, give him the ball, what he can do on the ball, I think might get us out of a situation or two during these games that we have seen. Much like he did on a few occasions when he was with us, if you remember. He did. It wasn't frequent, but he did it. Right now, we need a lifeline right now. Like, we're looking at the way we're playing and we will take anything. We'll take scrubs, we'll take crumbs, we'll take anything we can get. Anything, Please, sir, what do you have, sir? Have you got a cherry? I'll have an olive. If you got an olive, I'll have an olive. Not a problem. If that's all you got, I'll take it. Like, we are desperate right now. So right now, Joao Felix, in that role, in that zone, if there's enough people, especially with a Nicholas Jackson, if he's dropping deep and he's combining, if there's enough people to take the attention away from the defenders, right? Pulling defenders away to create at least a little bit of space, you can stick Joao Felix in that pocket and just let him do his thing. Let him work his magic. Chances up. Do you remember how many times last season he hit the woodwork? How many times he hit the post and the bar? Tons, didn't he? And that was last season with Potter and Lamps. that was bad enough. And now this season, where we thought we'd started moving forward, it turns out it doesn't look like we have. Right? We could do without an Nkunku being injured, we could do with a Joao Felix in that role. We really could. Him playing the way that he's playing, picking out those passes, picking out those runs, having that creativity and that vision we do lack it. We do lack it. Right now, I would absolutely take Joao Felix, and I have to say, I think we've made a big mistake. I think we've made a mistake there, and that's on Poch. Realistically, that's on Poch, because the decision was Poch didn't want Felix because of his off-the-ball work rate issues. Him playing like this, if he was at Chelsea and he was playing like this, right, I wouldn't care if he was staying up there, goal hanging. Mate, you can press. If the ball gets past you and your line, let the rest of the team deal with it. Screw it, you don't need to run. If you're going to give me what you're giving me on the ball, right, that's what I'm looking for. Because the thing is with Chelsea, and this goes back to the whole point about the chances that we create and Nicholas Jackson and all of that. There was a stat today, like I mentioned earlier. Man City have missed... No, not Man City. Sorry, let me take that back. Erling Haaland. This supports my point from yesterday, if you remember when I was talking about Jackson. Erling Haaland has missed 9 big chances in the last 160 minutes of football. Nearly 2 games, game and a half. He's missed 9 big chances. You can see it. If you watch Man City, you can see, I said this, you can see Haaland miss a flipping, not a sitter. I wouldn't really qualify it as a sitter. Missing an open goal with no one there is basically missing a sitter. But he's close enough. You'd think he'd bury it. He's missed. But the problem is, right, when we miss, but that's it. That's our chances gone. Where we've got 4 or 5, that's it. We ain't having any more. We've missed those, that's it, game's over. With Man City, they'll have another 10. And then they will put 2 or 3 in the net. They just will. The overload that they have, the amount of chances they actually do generate is ridiculous. Whereas with us, we get a handful and we think we've done a lot, and we don't put them away and we suffer. Whereas the same amount of chances are being missed over at City, but they make more and then they score. That's what they do. That's what they do. So that's where I want to look to. If there is someone in that space that can aid, that can take the game by the scruff of the neck, and if they have to, take a shot from distance, whether it's high or low, get past one or two players, then go for it yourself. Joao Felix is capable of that. He is. We let him go. Why? Because we don't like his off-the-ball work rate. Poch, I think he's had a blunder there. I think Poch has had a blunder there. A big one. So let me know your thoughts down below in relation to that and how you see Joao Felix doing and whether you think it was a mistake of Chelsea letting him go. Mistake after mistake with us, isn't it? It's absolutely bonkers. Now, talking about mistakes and what we're looking like we're going to do, right? I told you guys earlier on and even yesterday that Chelsea are looking at Ivan Toney, right? So let's get into the latest. There it is. Chelsea and Arsenal have asked for information on the potential Ivan Toney deal, right? That sounds fine. That sounds fine, right? That sounds fine. Let's get into the next bit, which is going to be a complete contradiction to what I've just read. Fabrizio, take it away again. Lautaro Martinez was never discussed at Chelsea during the summer, and they are not willing to go for a striker as expensive as him. What? What? Are we looking to get Ivan Toney for £9.99 or something? Or what? Is he going to cost £4.50? Is he going to cost $2.99? No. How much is Martinez? Someone tell me, how much is Martinez? What? Tony's going to cost, what? A bucket of chicken? Like, no. What? This is crazy. Ivan Toney's going to cost about 80 mil. If we're not prepared to go in for a Martinez because he's expensive, you best believe we're not getting Ivan Toney. So this is why I wanted to mention this. Two reasons. If we're not going to spend the money, talking about spending the money, we just spent a flipping billion. But we're contradicting ourselves. But if you're not going to spend the money on a striker, right, it's going to be an expensive one, then we ain't getting Ivan Toney. And just to clarify, like I mentioned, Arsenal have asked for information on him as well. So I have to be real. There's two reasons why we ain't getting Ivan Toney. I'm gonna come to peace with it now. We ain't getting Ivan Toney. If Ivan, look, we already know Ivan Toney was doing what he was doing for Arsenal when the rumours were floating about last year. You remember? Now, if you give him a choice with Chelsea playing like this, you give him and Arsenal playing the way they're playing, you give him a choice. The wages will probably be the same. Arsenal can probably pay more because we've now got a new wage structure. Then we're going to amortise all of that. So in terms of Arsenal, they can probably do more in terms of salary for him right now. And in terms of ability and where they are, where both clubs are in terms of Premier League, European football, all of that, Arsenal are ahead of us. We're both in the same city, so they wouldn't have to choose between London and somewhere else. They're both London, so he's getting the same deal there. That advantage for us is out the window because Arsenal have the same advantage. So you just know, just on that basis, he'll probably prefer Arsenal. But now you put on top of that Chelsea are not willing to actually buy an expensive striker. Well, you can forget it. We're not getting Ivan Toney then. So who are we getting? Bob? Bob from the post office. Maybe he plays up front. You know, he won't cost a lot. You know, he might cost, I don't know. He's on, what is he on at the post office? He's on maybe £12 an hour. So we can get someone, we can tell him, look, you'll get £15 an hour playing for Chelsea. How's that? Oh, he'll take it. He'll take it. This is what we're coming to, lads. This is what we're coming to. So, look, if I'm being serious, I'm not joking now. In terms of a striker, right? If we're going to go for a striker, and like I've just mentioned, I don't even think the entirety of the missed chances that we have right now is totally down on Nicholas Jackson. I think it's a complete blend of why we're not creating enough, even though we're underperforming our XG and all of that, flipping. But we are not doing the same as a Man City are in terms of the output that they are getting, where eventually they will put one or two in the net. We're not doing that enough. Albeit Jackson has missed a couple of sitters now. I have to be honest. So are we going to stick with him? Are we going to go out and get another 9? I'd like to think we actually go out and get another 9. But there's no point if we're going to go and get another 9 that's at the same potential as a Jackson. Can I just be honest? Right now, look, we got to be real, right? If we are in a situation where we are starting to get desperate, and when I say desperate, I don't think people really understand how much. I always say, go to the fixture list. From when we play against Arsenal, that's going to be chaos for us. It's going to be chaos. So we have to bear that in mind. But on top of that, if we're going to be looking at a striker and we're already spending this amount of money, we should just go and try and get an Osimhen or something, man. We really should. At least attempt. How much is he going to cost? 150 mil? We'll give you 160. No? How much is he going to cost? 200? Let's try and negotiate. 180. Well, we're gonna have to add a premium because we are in a situation and we're going to have to suck it up. That's the truth. That is the truth. If we want guarantees and we want certainties of being able to deliver now, and that way it prepares us to be able to look long term because at least we have something for now, then we're going to have to pay a premium. I say pay it. Instead of just suffering, I say pay it. Screw it. We've spent enough. What's another 150 mil added on $1 billion? You know, it's like when you spent way too much and you might as well just add a little bit more. I mean, this is basically a situation we're in. So let me know, which striker do you think we should go for? I've seen a couple of whispers at Sesko, but Sesko just joined Leipzig. It doesn't make sense. So for me, I'm not even looking at that. I don't think that's even feasible in the closest. So let me know down below. Much appreciated. Who you think Chelsea could reasonably go for if we aren't going to buy an expensive striker, and let me know. Much appreciated. And also let me know your thoughts on the whole Joao Felix issue and whether you think that we've missed out or whether you think no, correct decision, happy to let him go, goodbye, and what we have now is all right. Let me know down below. Much appreciated on all your thoughts. And let me know your Champions League thoughts as well overall for tonight. Tomorrow we look to Bayern Munich versus Manchester United. That's going to make us feel better because we know how that one's going to go. So we know. Man United, prepare yourselves. Saeed is over in Palma, Mallorca, having the time of his life. He probably won't watch the game. Man United fans are all hiding. Fair play. Come into the trenches. Hide with us. We are in the trenches together. We will suffer together, you know. Get the shovel. Keep digging. We're going to make the trench larger, you know. So deeper, should we say. So start digging. We've been digging for 2 years now. So you guys come and join. We'll give you the shovels. Start digging with us. And yeah, welcome. Welcome to the trenches. We will see your reaction tomorrow in the trenches when Bayern Munich decide to do what they're going to do to you. So we'll see tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. And I will catch all of you tomorrow for brand new videos. I'll see you then. Have a good one, people. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I have uploaded. Smash the like button if you have enjoyed this. And I will see all of you tomorrow. Take care, people. See you then. Have a good one. Take care and peace.